On YouTube. Anybody know? Hey, YouTube, are we on? Cy Kellett, host of Catholic Answers Live. Now we do a Catholic Answers Live Super Show, which is 2 hours. No, yeah, 2 hours a week, but it's an hour before the start of the regular show, and we're delighted that you come and visit with us for this hour. More people catch this later than catch it live, but we're just grateful for anybody catching it. Thank goodness, and thanks. To Edgar Lueno, our assistant to the host.
Assistant host.
Is here. Edgar, bienvenidos.
Bienvenidos al Super Show con Don Cirilo.
I was going to do the...
Jeff?
98.7 FM Baja California, Mexico. Go ahead, Jeff. Okay. All right. We're glad to be here.
We got Jeff on camera. It's a little dark, but we got him.
Wait, so that camera... Let's see. There he is.
Jeff's on camera.
Jeff looks like he's a fugitive from the law. Look at that. Wait, that's a horrible camera setup. It's Jeff Cam. It's Jeff Cam. And the clock that's all the way over there.
You can see the reflection.
Is reflecting twice in that double mirror, that double pane glass. And so we're getting backwards, upside down time doubled. What's up, Jeff? You were going to say something? Go ahead. You're part of it.
No, I was going to say that everything I just said was muted because I didn't have my stream on yet for 1 and 2. So
Jeff running
Jeff's
his own show over there.
Sound. All right.
Yeah, because we have Jeff for 2 reasons. One, he's just a wonderful person, and we can't find anybody else. There was nobody else in the building who currently knows how to run the soundboard. So
the 2 guys that know how to run the soundboard right now are in the studio.
Yeah, that's it. We need one of them for the... And we don't have a Johnny Cam. We can't get Johnny Versillo on there. I think it might be against the law because we're actually violating child labor laws to have Johnny working in there. So I think that there might be a violation.
Johnny, back to it.
Johnny, I know you're not on the mic or anything, but just tell me, and I will communicate this to the people of the planet Earth. What's the most popular television show of the last few months? Or not television show, movie. Most popular movie... internet, like online movie. What's the online media phenomenon of the last few months?
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh.
What's the topic of the show, Johnny?
I'm glad that we don't have. Go ahead, Johnny. Just say the name of this show.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Oh yeah, K-pop Demon Hunters. Oh, thank you, Johnny. Come on, man, play along. Play along, Johnny Versillo. All right, now I'm adding harassment to child employment laws.
Can I just give a quick shout out to Tyler? He gave us a $2 super chat saying, "Can't wait for the Super Duper show." Oh well.
Why he said, "Oh well"?
Oh well.
But if you give us $2, you can say whatever you want,
right.
Tyler. I got to say, this super chat thing.
Yeah.
People give money. But I never see that money. So I have a feeling you see that money. But where does the money go? Does it go into...
I can't say anything or else I'll incriminate myself.
No way. Are you embezzling Catholic Answers money? You're actively embezzling?
No.
There you go.
We got sound effects and everything now.
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Cy,
yes.
Did you get through the movie or no?
I did not.
You didn't finish watching it?
No. I was going to finish watching it at lunchtime today.
Uh-huh.
But a gaggle, I don't know if the gaggle is the correct word, of Scottish nuns came. And they were awesome.
The Scottish nuns were cool.
And they're not actually Scottish. They're missionaries in Scotland. And I don't want to say anything more about them. But they're lovely people. And I never got back to K-pop Demon Hunters. And I told them, you're keeping me from watching K-pop Demon Hunters. And they were like, that's probably good.
But they were
for
dressed for the occasion for Veterans Day.
Red,
by the
white,
way,
and blue.
Happy Veterans Day. Jeff.
Hey, Jeff, let's go to Jeff Cam and see how our veteran is doing.
Well, I have the veteran look of the balding and big bushy beard,
Yeah, you look like a special operator.
Daniel, you can ask us questions if you want.
On that.
All right, enough Jeff Cam. Holy smokes, man. Limit the Jeff Cam, okay? It's not Jeff. Jeff's fine, but that dark...
What is that? Did you upload all the new sounds?
Maybe a couple.
Darren takes a day off, and you put a bunch of new sounds. Darren's whole thing is, let's go easy on the sound effects. Not too many. And you're like, doing all...
Wait, hold on.
I've used one.
Wait, do that one again. Cy did not watch K-pop Demon Hunters. Oh, man.
I watched some of it.
Yeah, how far did you get it to it?
They were hunting demons.
Okay. Well, do you know the premise of it? Can you explain the premise of it?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's the power of song is
power
what's
of
at the root of all of this is the beautiful power of song to drive the demons away.
That's right.
And there's always like a team of three girls, and these three girls have these magical voices that can drive the demons away.
That's
and
right.
they're trying to get to the hoobity or something. And is it the golden hoop-de-doop-de-doo or something? And also called the golden.
Something.
Yeah, I had something, but I lost it. But
All right, this is all the rage right now. K-pop Demon Hunters, and apparently its theology is actually pretty good. Decent.
Okay, yeah. There's some things in it that are laudable. I have one basic underlying problem with it, but did I get the basic premise right? That
Yeah.
the power of song can vanquish the demons.
These three K-pop singers
Yeah.
with the power of song come from a long lineage of demon hunters, and they protect the world with this golden hoopty-da, whatever you called it.
Scoop-de-doop-de-doop.
Nothing. And
Yeah.
but the premise of this is one of the K-pop demon hunters is actually part demon.
What?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
and the way you can distinguish them when they're undercover as a human, they have these not scars. They have these
blemishes
on the skin or whatever they call them.
possibly disfigurements.
Marks, designs, whatever.
Yeah. Right. I don't know how to categorize them, but here's my can I just get my main problem out of the way?
Yes, go ahead.
These demons are not demons. They're monsters. This is a monster movie, but they use the word demon. And I think that it's okay. Like if it had been Monster Hunters, it would have been different. Now, I understand that wouldn't have worked as well.
Why don't you call them demons? Why are you saying that they're monsters?
A demon is, now I'm probably being kind of chauvinistic Christian, saying you gotta use the Christian definition. But the Christian understanding of a demon is a fallen angel, and these aren't fallen angels. They're not. There's people who are, oh, my dad's a demon, so I'm a demon. Well, that's not a demon. That's
a monster.
You can't be a demon without actively having chosen to be a demon.
It's the secular notion of what a demon is. It's basically just a monster.
So it's a monster, and so I think my only caveat about it, and I probably I should probably have 10 more, and I'm not smart enough to come up with them. But my only thing is, yeah, they're K-pop demon hunters, but they're not actually hunting demons. They're hunting monsters.
So
and
they're
a demon is a very specific thing for a Christian, and none of them are nice. There's no I doggone it, I was hiding my demon identity, but I'm just going to be myself. No, that's not what a demon is. That's what a monster might be, and monsters are fun and interesting. That's not what a demon is. So that's the only problem I have with it.
Anne Marie says they don't have belly buttons. It's true. So apart from that, it actually has a really interesting theme. I'm not a big musical guy, so this was a little hard to get through. And then by the end of it, I was like, all right, I can kind of get behind this. This is decent. So it's not just demons / monsters, but it's also human beings who have given their souls to this super demon. It's basically Satan, right? It's the devil.
I think so. I don't know what the name means. I mean, I assumed it might be a Korean name.
Yeah,
but yeah, we would.
So,
it's somebody we would identify as Satan.
Yeah, exactly. So the premise is you have the demons who have been stamped down, and because they can't absorb the souls or eat the souls of humans for a while, because these K-pop demon hunters have been protecting the earth. So they create a boy band, these demons, or these basically souls who have basically in hell, and they start competing against the K-pop demon hunters.
Could you just say HE double toothpicks from now? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
HE double hockey sticks?
Yeah, right.
So that's the premise of it, and it really is a little bit about redemption too.
Well, it's also about the fact that there is, and this part is actually true, but you have to be careful how you present it to children in particular. There is a hidden spiritual world that actually has a tremendous impact on our daily life.
Yeah.
And that if we don't understand life as spiritual battle, then we really don't understand life. You may understand some aspects of life, but if there's not a fundamental understanding of that life involves a battle,
Yeah. Well,
then you're missing a big part of what's actually going on.
Well, what they do in this show or this movie, they absorb souls, or they, give it to, I don't know, what do you call this? What should we call it? Just the demon, the senior demon?
Yeah, top demon.
Top demon. And they, in order to get the soul, they start luring them with regret, misery, dread, and basically despair.
Yeah.
And the leader of the demon boy band, he is being basically trying to get saved from him having lost his soul. There's an interesting song halfway through the movie where the main character, the half demon, half demon hunter, she's singing with the main leader of the boy band, and the song is called Hope. I want to read a little bit of the lyrics for you.
Go for it. Could you sing them?
I will not be singing the
No.
lyrics. Sorry.
Okay.
So it's free. So it says, the main line that I actually want to read here, if I can find it. I tried to hide, but something broke. I tried to sing, couldn't hit the notes. The words kept catching in my throat. I tried to smile. I was suffocating though. But here with you, I can finally breathe. You say you're no good, but you're good for me. I've been hoping to change. Now I know we can change, but I won't if you're not by my side. Keep talking. I need to find that line specifically.
What line are you looking for? Or a line that was particularly poignant as far as the...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I'll tell you what, you look for it, but don't interrupt me because I'm going to read something here from Tyler.
Go ahead.
Tyler said, I watched an anime called Inuyasha, and it really messed with me because I was like 10 years old and it glorified demons. Made them out to be the good guys, probably why I need guidance as an adult. It's probably not why you need guidance as an adult, because we all need guidance as an adult, and I never saw that movie. But I do think that makes a really good point, Tyler. I'm very glad that you shared that experience, because it reminds us, you got to be careful what kids are watching. You got to be careful. Not every movie is Blackbeard's Ghost, one of the greatest kids movies ever made. I'm glad you made that point, Tyler. I'm sorry that happened to you. But children are very, very. But like my wife always says, children, they don't know what to do. They don't. That's one of the big things about being a kid. They don't know what to think about stuff. They don't know what to do about stuff, and so stuff really can mess them up. Jess Talk said, "Hi Edgar, my Mexican brother from another mother, and Cy, my brother from another mother as well. God bless you both." So he gets Mexican brother, and I'm just my brother. So. Why can't I get my ethnicity mentioned? I'm sorry, I said Jess. That was Jesus Talks. My ethnicity is my people are well represented around the world. They're called pasty white, and so you can please refer to me. Oh, sorry, Jeff. I didn't mean to call you out. We look
It's
at
okay,
me,
brother.
Okay, brother. Yeah, thank you, brother. Yes, that is true. Edgar is Mexican. And loving it. Did you find that line? Like, you didn't come prepared for this show at all.
I came prepared.
You are not even prepared. Like, I just did a whole thing, and you still don't. All right,
We could be free. We can't fix it if we never face it. Let the past be the past till it's weightless. There's a lot I can't find. I don't know what it is, but it's talking about hope and how dangerous hope is, because he's fallen into his despair and how dangerous it is to hope.
Yeah.
So it's that desiring repentance and desiring to turn away from your sin, but you can't. You choose not to hope. It's falling into despair, basically.
Jen Doe. I'm sorry, I'm messing up everybody's fake names today. Everybody's got a fake name, and I'm messing them up. You went to all the trouble of creating a fake name for yourself, Jen Doe. And Jen Doe said, the fact that K-pop Demon Hunters has made such an impact is honestly kind of funny to me. I know Father Mike Schmidt saw it, and he enjoyed it. Well, it's okay with us then.
Because Father Mike Schmitz liked it.
Jesus Talk said, I don't know what your ethnicity is, Si. I told you my
He's,
ethnicity.
He's Irish.
No.
Yeah. But sorry, he's
starts with a P.
He's Bostonian. I'm sorry.
Pasty
He's Bostonian.
white. I'm an amalgam. I have 4 different ethnicities in my 4 grandparents. All of them fall into a category that can be referred to as pasty
All right.
white.
All right. Can we go back to K-pop Demon Hunters?
Why does it bother you that I call myself
I
pasty
don't like
white?
it. I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah. Don't
I'm
say
like,
it.
Whoa, Tyler just gave us $2. Do we have a sound effect for that? We just put that money away in the cash register, man. Didn't you have a whole lesson on phonics? Oh, me? Oh, that's right. I did a whole thing on phonics, and then I can't read people's names. Thank you, Taylor Reuter.
All right. can
His
we go
name
back
is
to-
really Tyler Rudder. That was like a little joke. Go ahead.
All right. Back to K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah.
So the last song that they play, they're luring everybody to steal their souls, and this is the song. And I just listen to the lyrics.
Okay.
So it starts off kind of like a chanty type thing, and they repeat, "Pray for me now, pray for me now." And
I didn't get to the end, but I did read about this song. Okay.
Yeah, and there's Latin in the background, and it's "Dies ira illa vosave in favilla, maledictus erus in flammas aeternam." So
Head to the eternal flames, all you souls that are, but it's in Latin, so that the fans don't know, right? That's
yeah,
the
exactly.
idea?
But you
Yeah.
can you can hear it, but it's not in your face.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hidden. So as it's saying, "Pray for me now, pray for me now," it's talking about being damned. Which, by the way, Dies Ira. I know you know where this is from, right, Jeff? Where is it? Where's it from?
From the Requiem Mass.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's Mozart, and the translation of that from the Requiem Mass is "Day of wrath, day of anger will dissolve the world in ashes," as foretold by David and Sibyl. "Great trembling there will be when the judge descends from heaven to examine all things closely." Now they take the first few lines of that in the song, and this is what it translates to in the K-pop song. It's "Day of wrath that turns you or scatters you into ash. Cursed you will be into flames forever." So it kind of takes that
So it's
requiem.
telling the truth.
It's it's condemning them. It's what's going to happen to their souls. Now, the second part of it, of the actual lyrics, is the song is called "I'll Be Your Idol."
Oh,
Yeah.
See, that's kind of clever in a way. I mean, I don't know what the producers or the writer their intention was, but the idea of worshiping
Yep.
idols, including a singer, which many people do, they worship these false idol singers, and that there's a spiritual meaning to all
Oh,
of
yeah.
this. That you shouldn't avoid the spiritual meaning.
Let me read the one final part of the lyrics. It says, "I'll be your idol, keep you in check, keeping you obsessed. Play me on repeat in your head. Anytime it hurts, play another verse. I can be your sanctuary. Know that I'm the only one right now. I will love you more when it all burns down. More than power, more than gold. Yeah, you gave me your heart. Now I'm here for your soul. I'm the only one who loves your sins. Feel the way my voice gets underneath your skin." Kind of creepy, huh?
Yeah, that sounds demonic. That doesn't sound monstrous. Let Jeff get access to sound effects.
I would give this my stamp of approval.
You would?
Yeah.
Because you think that it actually. Well, let me ask you this: would you give it your stamp of approval for a child who doesn't have parents who can talk about this with them? You know, the kid that just sees this, and the parents are maybe absentee and don't really attend to these kind of things. Or is it an opportunity to have a conversation with the kid, and that's what you like?
It's an opportunity to talk to them because it actually presents evil as evil. There's in a lot of ways they do. I think one of my problems with media today is that there is no clear-cut black and white. There is no evil.
No, I know. Everybody thinks it's mature to just have gray areas.
Yeah.
As an artist, I really want to explore the gray areas. I
It's-
always feel
it's
like knocking them in the
complex.
head. Yeah, really?
Yeah.
While people are suffering and dying because of the not gray areas, what you're concerned as an artist is, it just seems so selfish to me. I really want to explore the gray area. what are you doing?
Yeah.
Exploring the gray areas. Like,
So-
make art that helps people.
And I think this it opens up the door for conversation to say, no, there is real evil out there that wants to do evil. It's something a little refreshing in our world today. It's not perfect. There's the person who committed a horrendous sin, the leader of the boy band group, who's in hell now. They're still there. He's hoping for redemption. Eventually, that's where it leads to him. But he's made his choice. He's in hell. Eventually, there is
Kind of. I mean, it's not exactly hell as we understand it.
Exactly.
But,
Yeah. It's not the full Christian understanding of it, but it at least shows you that there is evil and there is good. So I don't know. I think I wouldn't show it to the very small ones, but
Well, here's the thing, and this I'll tell you what the controversy among Catholics about. Jess talks $1.99. Who's your fave guest that Catholic Answers has had on? Love y'all. Do I have to answer that because he gave us a $1.99?
yeah.
Like is that the rules of YouTube?
That's
If
Jesus
someone
Talks.
gives-
That's
if-
our friend Ari.
I keep saying Jess Talk. I don't I don't know the name of Jesus or something. What's wrong with me? Or Jesus maybe. Maybe that's how he pronounces it.
Sure.
I don't know. Most people today don't have the name Jesus. They have the name Jesus, but maybe
Sure.
that's not his name.
No, that's
That's his chosen.
Ari, our friend Ari.
Oh, okay.
She has a podcast called Jesus Talks. That's her page.
Now I'm getting it. Okay, so it's not like, okay, so Jesus Talks. Who is your favorite guest that Catholic Answers has had on? And it's $1.99. So I have to answer that question, right?
Yes.
Like it's a moral obligation if someone gives you $1.99. So I would have to say my favorite guest.
Oh, never mind. You can't pick me. I'm the.
He won't do the sound effect for
I'm
me.
the
but
assistant host.
Mel Gibson is my favorite guest we've ever had on.
Oh, he doesn't know we have that. We
We have
have
a sound effect of Mel Gibson saying hi to me. Do you know where it is? Do you have any idea where it is?
I've never heard this, but I will find that GIF.
Find it.
Mel Gibson, I have to say, he was such a gentleman. He was so nice, and I've never stopped abusing him for how nice he was to me by playing that sound effect over and over and over again.
Daniel says, since you guys watched it, and when I'm hearing the lyrics, I hear a lot of Christianity and what is it? LaDonna Christianity. So how would you put that in Catholic faith, the show?
Since you guys watched it, and when I'm hearing
can't
the
read it.
lyrics, I hear a lot of Christianity, and I don't know what LaDonna Christianity is. I've never heard of that.
What is
I
that,
feel
Daniel?
so dumb, LaDonna Christianity. So how would you put that in Catholic faith in the show? Okay, in the Demon Hunters show. It's in the ballpark. I actually think sometimes the best, the art that a Christian can most appreciate is probably going to be art that doesn't actually overtly touch on demons and all that kind of stuff, because it's not likely that they're going to get it right if they do that. It's not likely that we're going to be able to go 100%, yeah, I support that.
Yeah.
So usually a story that has that tells the Christian story, I suppose, in a way, the story of love and the story of love as the will of the good of the other and the self-surrender that it takes to love another for their own good. Those are great stories, whether they have spiritualized words and characters, or they're just about regular people, or they're animals or whatever. It doesn't matter. So I think it's kind of a little bit dangerous to get into this stuff because, this is clearly not demons in the way that Catholics understand demons. I mean, you would never, as a Catholic, if you're a true believing Catholic, you would never make a demon show in which any of the demons are appealing in any way.
Yeah.
There's not going to be, I shouldn't have hidden my demon identity. No, a demon is a very dark thing, and so we wouldn't do that.
But
Go ahead.
You have to admit, though, that the demonic portrays itself as being
Light.
of light. So
Yeah, right.
this to me is very fit. I mean, it's a story. This
Yeah,
whole
they did that
movie
well.
is a story of salvation.
Yeah.
And the demonic is hiding itself as something of light and something good, and is trying to trick people into falling in. And then when the evil beings have humans, then they lead them into despair. They've lured them in, and then they lead them into this despair. And one of the last scenes where they're all being drawn into the stadium, as they're being drawn in, they start being hit with things, they start hearing a voice of doubt, and misery starts creeping in as they're slowly making their way in. So, yeah, again, my stamp of approval. I think it's really clear what's being done, and it's a clear vision of what evil is and what it does to you and how to avoid it.
What we need is more exorcists giving their review. Because you're going to get a million celebrity exorcists giving their review. And there's always these kind of, I think there is in Catholic media, I've noticed, there are people who I can consistently, I know, I don't want to say I know, but I'm rarely surprised by their media reviews because they'll go, oh, it's about magic. It's about demons. It's about no. And so, and I think sometimes that kind of misses the point. Like, and we got a lot of that with the Harry Potter stuff.
I got a lot of that with Pokemon when I was a kid. People were saying that Pokemon was evil and
it's demonic.
And
you
it's
didn't
demonic.
know? Oh my God, you weirdo.
They're basically a replacement of animals in this world. That's all it is.
Yeah, and anything you could probably point to it and go, well, that just looks demonic to me. I mean, but the Protestants do that about the Catholic churches. That looks demonic to me. This, this ritual that they're doing up there on that altar, and it all looks like just because it looks like that to you doesn't mean that's what it is. So sometimes I do appreciate the people who are surprising in their reviews.
Yeah. Jendo says the theme of K-pop demon hunters of Rui, the main character, hiding her marks until it isolates her from her loved ones, can easily be a step to
why confession is so freeing and how our mistakes don't keep us from God. I don't know what was happening to yours over there, but mine came out clear. Yeah, I think that's right. But isn't part of the thing that's happening is that she's hiding that she's part demon?
Yeah.
So that's the part that I think if we had used the word monster for that, I'd go, yeah, fine. Monsters are redeemable. Monsters are.
But that's the thing. She's a demon, but the demonic part of her can actually go away. That's the difference. So the marks going away is the removal of her, the demon side of her. So she's cleansed of it. So to me, it seems more like the marks are actually a form of a stain of sin.
Oh,
that's what I'm viewing it as, and okay. She's ashamed of these, so she hides them.
Okay.
And the more she tries to hide them, the more they manifest themselves, until eventually they do go away. But at the same time, I can also see embracing your true self, her demon self, or blah blah blah. So,
name the age that you think that this movie is directed to, like the age that you would say that's the perfect audience, and even if you want to give a 2 or 3 year.
For an opportunity to have a conversation with kids, I would put it.
No. That's not what I'm asking you.
No.
I'm asking you the people who made this movie. Who are they directing it to? Not about who this would be appropriate for.
Yeah.
Who are they directing it to?
I think it's 13-year-old girls.
Let me tell you something. Mm-hmm. That is the easiest way to make money because 11, 12, 13-year-old girls, when they truly fall in love with a piece of media, will watch it 10, 20, 30 times. And I saw this with the High School Musical when my girls were young. It wasn't just my girls, but all girls that I knew at the time. They wanted to watch High School Musical as many times as it was physically possible. So I think there is a kind of exaggeration that happens where a TV show that's really popular with 40-year-old men, they watch it once, but it might have a much greater. We kind of exaggerate media that's designed for young children, particularly girls of a certain age, because the repeat watching is what makes it. Like I saw somewhere, it said it's been watched 325 million times. 325 million times is probably about 8 girls. They've watched it so many times. So the actual cultural impact of this is much smaller than is being reported because they directly marketed this to the very demographic that is most loyal to when it falls in love with media. Again and again and again and again, they'll watch it. So
that's a good point. And so when I was looking up the songs for this, especially the song "Free," the first lyrics that I read you, there was a comment that I read on there, and it was a guy who it was a grandfather, and he said, "I've watched this dozens of times with my granddaughter, and this song hits me every time because of the message." But You've sat and watched this.
He's the best
dozens-
grandpa ever. Yeah.
dozens of times.
right.
I barely got through the first time around. I could not go through it again.
Wait till
And
wait
that's the
till you
musicals,
have
though. That's musicals.
When you have an 11-year-old girl, and you are like you're a dad, and you just love that 11-year-old girl, you're gonna watch some stuff you never thought you would watch, man. You're gonna. It's like my wife watched all the Star Wars movies, because of my son. She's not the audience for Star Wars, but she watched it and that's more like a 7-year-old boy. They're about 7. They discover Star Wars, and they're like, "Oh, I'm not in love with sharks anymore. I got
lightsabers.
Yeah,
lightsabers
right.
are cool. Yeah.
I just want to say this. Jesus Talks said, I loved high school, all caps. I loved High School Musical. That was my favorite series. Okay, you're going to have to tell us how many times you watched it. Because if you were a young girl or just a girl, not really even a young girl, just a girl who watched this, you are the person that these people who make these things love, because there's just no loyalty like the loyalty of a 10, 11, 12-year-old girl.
Well, it's the same thing with the movies like Twilight, right? I think it was geared for that audience too.
Twilight, maybe a little older, but yeah.
The angsty teen with.
Somebody said I shouldn't know about High School Musical. I got daughters. I know all about High School Musical. Yeah, I could probably sing. Oh man, I could sing the soundtrack to some stuff. You wouldn't believe it.
Sorry? Go ahead.
We're all in this together. Come on. I can't dance, but I'm a very good singer. I'm no Corbin Bleu. But we are all in this together, Edgar. Put your hands up. We're all in this. Do not cut this, Johnny Versello. Do not put this on the internet. All right, let's see how many times Jesus. All right, I want to do another story. I want to get into a couple other things. The Pope said something interesting.
Before we get there,
Yeah.
yes or no on K-pop Demon Hunters?
I'm not sure, because I didn't give it a full view.
Okay.
I have to go. There are some things that I like very, very much about it, but I'm have to give it an I'm not sure.
Okay, that works.
All right, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 laughing, crying faces from Jesus Talks. That's right. That's why we do this show. That is right, Jesus Talks. You are correct about that.
Sean Ovision says, good evening from Prince Edward Island. I keep
Prince
forgetting how
Edward
early
Island.
these shows are, is what he says. And gives a bunch of frog.
Yeah, because it's midnight on Prince Edward Island or something. I think Prince Edward, ask him this, or I'll ask him, and then you tell me what he says. I think Prince Edward Island is so far east, it's not even in the Eastern time zone. I think it's in the Atlantic time zone. Tell me this. Tell me if I'm right about that, about Prince Edward Island.
I had never heard of Prince Edward Island until my wife forced me to watch Anne of Green Gables.
And now your life is better, huh? Well, let me tell you about when your daughter turns 10. You're going to know all the words to Anne of Green Gables. Yes. And getting on the train, and going to school, and she's not a boy, but she can work like a boy. Oh,
Okay,
you're going to know all of it. Yeah. All right. I kind of wanted to talk about this story because we have a colleague. We have 2 colleagues over in Rome.
Yeah.
Have they gotten back from Rome yet? Or are they
I think they're still there, yeah.
And I think they're going to open the government here in the United States just to get them back from Rome. But 2 of our favorite colleagues are over there, two of the smartest people here. And you should have been over there, Jeff. They should have taken you. But you didn't want, did you want to go to Rome?
We need him here in the studio.
Yeah. But
Yeah, we wouldn't have a show today, I guess.
no, we wouldn't.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you wanted to go to. I don't know if you'd want to leave your family. You still have a young family, but
I would always go to Rome for a week.
would you? You'd
Yeah.
be like, "See you, honey." No, you'd be more like, call from the airport. Hey, I'm gonna see you in a week. I got called to Rome.
Yeah, I gotta work late for work.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long night for the next 7 days. So because they were having this AI conference, and we invented AI. I think is that basically right? Catholic
We
Answers?
invented?
Well, we invented Catholic AI.
We invented Catholic. Yeah, yes, we go.
All right.
Rest in peace, Father Justin.
Clearly, that's a slight exaggeration, but that got us in a relationship with the people at the Vatican. Not me. I'm not in a relationship with the people at the Vatican who are doing all the big thinking on AI, but they included us in their thinking, our apostolate. And so Chris has gone over. Chris Jack, our president, has gone over. John Sorensen, our COO, and our head of IT have gone over. And so it was funny because I was reading this story then in the Business Insider, and I was like, oh, that's our guys. They're over there listening to Pope Leo. So Pope Leo tweeted this out, and it's so weird to me that I live in an era where the Pope is tweeting out about AI. Like,
I guess we got used to the president tweeting about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it's the Pope tweeting.
Now everybody's got a tweet. So Pope Leo XIV tweeted this: technological innovation can be a form of participation in the divine act of creation. Oh, that's beautiful. Like that, the fact that somebody innovates, like, for example, like you think of Alexander Graham Bell and the other guy that invented the phone. Two guys invented the telephone on the same day. I don't know if you know that story. No. But Bell beat him to the patent office by about, 45 minutes or something. And so he gets all the credit. But so Alexander Graham Bell, who the real reason that he invented the telephone was he was trying to create a device that would assist the deaf. And he did actually end up assisting the deaf, but he wasn't trying to invent AT&T, but he was trying to create a device to assist the deaf. Okay, so you think about Alexander Graham Bell. He's participating in the divine act of creation in that he's a secondary cause, that God has a plan and has created the world in a certain way, that certain things are possible, and those things are in potential, but they're not actualized until someone does them. And Alexander Graham Bell does them, and now he by giving us the telephone, he becomes part of God's divine act of creation, as the Pope says. And then the Pope says it carries an ethical and spiritual weight, for every design choice expresses a vision of humanity. That's a really cool line. This is one of the best tweets I've ever read. I just want to say that right now. I probably only read like 10 tweets, but this is one of the best ones I've ever read. It's amazing how compact and well expressed this is by the Pope. So every act of creation where we create a new technology carries an ethical and spiritual weight, for every design choice expresses a vision of humanity. So the people who design airports are expressing a vision of humanity. The people who design freeways and cars are expressing the people who design these little devices, they're expressing a vision of humanity. It's beautiful that the Pope said every design choice expresses a vision of humanity, because we come to take them as just given. That's how an airport is. An airport is a miserable experience for everyone who goes to an airport, apparently including the employees, by the way they treat you when you're at the airport. So we've created a place where everybody who wants to travel in this world must pass through, and we have decided, but this is important, we've chosen that those places should be places of misery. They're places where people cannot be really comfortable. They're places where people often have no exposure to the outdoors. Like, one of my favorite airports in the country is the Denver airport. I know it's a total mess, and a lot of people think it's a Masonic satanic plot that built that airport, but they did something right. At the end of each terminal, after you've passed through security, you can walk outside and breathe fresh air. They've got an area there. So even when they close it off when it's really snowing. But you can go out and look at the Rocky Mountains. That's a choice that they made that expresses humanity better than almost every other airport. Most airports, ask yourself this when you're in the airport: what do the people who made this think of human beings? They don't like human beings. They think of, as a matter of fact, they don't really even think of the needs of human beings, the desires, the hopes, the wants of human beings as important. What's important is efficiency. The thing is constructed for efficiency. So we now become the things that are the problem for the airport. That's what the designer sees. The human being is a problem for the airport, not the other way around. The airport is an opportunity to make something that's truly and fully human. So we make those choices. Our freeways are what they are because we made those choices. Airplanes are what they are because we made those choices. Our devices are what they are because we made those choices. And the Pope is pointing that out because we act like that's not the case. We act like, well, that's just the free market or something. Free market, you know what free market is? Millions and millions and millions of choices. We chose this. And I learned this in a hard way. I remember when I read the book, it's not called The Death of Liberalism, How Liberalism Failed. And I can't remember the name of, Patrick Deneen wrote the book. And in it, he talks about loneliness. And you know how we all talk about, oh, the elderly are so lonely and there's this epidemic. Much of which is true, much of which is not their fault. I'm not blaming people who are lonely. But he goes, we're the society that chose to live online, to not have very many children, and to have a concept of retirement that means people are home alone. We chose all of those things. And so it's not like some magical accident. It's millions and millions and millions of choices that lead to elderly people home alone, lonely, including the choices about whether or not they will have children. Now, of course, not everybody's making a choice in that case, but I'm talking about the great mass of it. So I think it's beautiful that he says every design choice expresses a vision of humanity. What a beautiful, beautiful and helpful thing to say.
It's interesting when you compare airports to old churches.
Yeah.
That are meant to express beauty and humanity in its fullness, which is union with God.
Right. That's why they will fly through horrible airports in tremendously dehumanizing airplanes to get all the way to Paris so that they can walk into a cathedral that was built 800 years ago.
Or the Louvre, then it's now empty because it got robbed.
Well, I don't know about the Louvre. I've never been in the Louvre. But, when you walk into St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, where Jeff did not get to go this week, that's a vision of humanity.
Yeah.
And it's pretty hard to say there is a more exalted vision of humanity. Anyway, walk into a mosque, walk into a Catholic church, two different visions of humanity.
Yeah.
One, I would say, better than the other one. One more full, more beautiful, more humane than the other one. I'm not saying that mosques are ugly. I'm saying that every design choice expresses a vision of humanity. I'm going to get a tattoo of that. I'm going to get a tattoo. All right, no, I'm not going to get a tattoo.
Have you walked through the Raphael rooms at the Vatican Museum?
The Raphael rooms is. I don't remember. I tell you what. It's the sculpture that. Who's the great sculptor of that period?
Michelangelo.
Not Michelangelo. The better sculptor. The one that's better than Michelangelo. He's the one that impressed me.
Leonardo da Vinci?
No, the one he came after Michelangelo, and he's the greatest sculptor ever. He did Apollo and Daphne. You're gonna have to help me. For some reason I'm having. But what were you gonna say about the Raphael rooms?
You walk in and you're surrounded by this intricate, beautiful paintings all around you of just the glory of God. So in our conference room, that image that we have of the Lamb on the altar, you have the saints and all that. That's one of the Raphael rooms.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
And you're surrounded by this beauty, and I don't know, it's overwhelming when you're walking in. And then when you finish up the tour, you end at the Sistine Chapel. So you leave the Raphael rooms and you enter this beautiful, beautiful chapel that you don't know where to look because it's so beautiful.
Yeah, I almost couldn't appreciate the Sistine Chapel because I had ideas about this. I was like, it's like if you visit the Sydney Opera House, you can't really appreciate it because it's like, oh, I'm seeing the thing that they always show on TV. You know, I didn't do very well in the Sistine Chapel. I didn't handle it very well.
My time in Rome, I was in Rome for 10 days, and I caught myself after about the third or fourth day starting to get, my senses got dull to the beauty. Or I got so used to it. And I remember, for some reason, it sticks out to me, the Church of the the Jesuit church.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. I was like, I'm going to walk in there because I heard it's beautiful. I walk in, and it's beautiful. Get careful now. It's beautiful in there. But it's almost like, okay, cool, another church. Snap, let's go.
That's where you got to avoid that.
Yeah.
You got to go to mass or do stuff like that. I mean, I was in the Church of Cosmos and Damian there.
Oh, yeah.
And you only
Franciscan.
truly appreciate how perfect it is when you go to mass, because the whole thing is designed for mass. But that's what it is. It's a vision of humanity, and it's a liturgical vision of humanity. That's why these churches are the most beautiful buildings ever built. I'm not even slightly embarrassed to say these Catholic churches. Here's one in America, the Basilica of Our Lady of the Immaculate Conception in Washington, D.C. These are there's no buildings like them because they express a vision of humanity. Bernini is who I was thinking of. Did you know that's who I was thinking of, Bernini?
No, I had Ghiberti or Ghiberti.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Donatello for guesses.
The Ninja Turtles? No, I'm just kidding.
No, Donatello was. Bernini should have been one of the Ninja Turtles. No, Bernini, he's just the most perfect artist of sculpture, I think, that ever sculpted. And, he overwhelmed me there.
Can I tell you one of the most beautiful cathedrals here in the United States that I've ever seen?
Yeah.
Is the Cathedral of St. Helen in Helena, Montana. It's one of the most beautiful things in there. And there's an image of the death of St. Joseph. It's,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you ever get a chance to go, if you're ever in Helena, Montana,
we'll be there sometime.
Maybe.
At some point. Maybe we'll do the show from there.
There you go.
All right, so then the Pope went on like this. The church therefore calls all builders of AI. Okay, builders of AI. See, this is design. What you're making is, there's a vision of humanity that's going into AI. All builders of AI to cultivate moral discernment as a fundamental part of their work, to develop systems that reflect justice, solidarity, and a genuine reverence for life. Now, I think many of the AI people who are secular will see that as the Pope trying to impose something on them. The Pope is not trying to impose something on them. He's saying to them, don't impose your inhuman vision on other people. Because you are imposing an ugly vision of humanity if your vision doesn't include the moral dimension as a fundamental part of your work. So, ChatGPT now is going to be a porn site. Why? Well, because money. That's why. It's because money. Porn sells. So they're going to let you make your own porn on ChatGPT. That's not an advance for humanity, and that's not a vision of humanity. Okay, that is a vision of humanity. It's a vision of a hyper-individualistic view of the human as having all these rights to do whatever they want with whatever. That ain't the Catholic view. The Catholic view is we are a community. We are social creatures from the moment we're born to the moment we die, and then forever, for all eternity, we are social creatures. What we do matters socially. It's not all about me and what I do in the privacy of, I love that, in the privacy of my home. Yeah, you know why you have the privacy of that home? Because God made it possible for you to have the privacy of that home. And a lot of what you do in the privacy of your home, like buying pornography, for example, that turns out to have a huge effect on children that you will never meet, on people, the performers, for example, or all kinds of people are being affected by what you think you're doing in the privacy of your own home. So we have to cultivate moral discernment in everything we design. Otherwise, you'll end up with AI being like airports. It'll be something everyone has to use, but all it does is make all of its users miserable. And not all it does. Like airports do a lot of other stuff, but look at the faces of people in an airport. There's only one place that's more miserable in modern society than an airport.
Twitter?
A casino.
Oh.
Look at the faces of people in a casino.
Yeah.
They look absolutely miserable to be there. And the casino is intentionally designed to be inhuman. I mean,
no lights, nothing.
No clocks, no lights, all these, they're confusing floor layouts. It's hard to find a place to cash out. They got a million ways. The music, it's all. And you are under constant, minute surveillance. You are not a respected member of the human community in a casino. You are a product, and they are milking you for whatever they can, and they're monetizing you.
Yep.
And they are.
Did you know that there's a place you can
Hey,
turn?
I got an ad in my ear. Did that go out or? It doesn't matter. We can play it. Like I don't mind if we play the ads.
Oh, it's just the 10-minute pre-show stuff, but I don't know why it was an ad.
Oh, it starts coming out
Figured out,
on.
yeah.
So they have to set up these computers with like in a minute the music will start playing. It's funny because we come in here 1/2 hour before the show on the days that we're not doing Supershow, and everybody's in here getting ready for the show. That's the rule, right? Half hour before.
Yep.
I'm always on time, right?
Huh?
But then, at a certain point, the music starts playing. It just lets everybody know that the computers are ready to go and everything's in order and that. Yeah.
Shauna Vision said we are in Atlantic time zone, and it's now it's 6:50. I met Cy and others at the Basilica. Can't forget the Super Duper show. Says.
Oh, okay. I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were there in Prince Edward Island. But I thought that I remembered that they were super far east. Well, why are you laughing at him?
Because I don't know what he's doing over there.
Just jamming a little
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
Just
Oh,
a
the
little
music.
groovy music.
So this is the music that plays 10 minutes before the show.
Well, it's
the
different
actual
music each day.
show. That's right.
So this is the Wednesday music.
What's the best music? This is Tuesday music.
Oh, this is the Tuesday music. Oh, yeah.
Best music?
Is
Thursdays.
it Thursday?
Thursday music is
Is that
best.
the kind of like that jazzy, weird jazzy stuff that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It got a little.
Is,
Yeah.
is it going out on YouTube too, the music?
I pput it out for like 5 seconds, then I stopped.
Yeah.
it.
Don't get us demonetized, or I don't even know how that stuff works, but yeah.
Be much.
I have it in my ears right now, the trumpet. I'm playing trumpet.
So do
don't,
I.
Don't play it. Go ahead.
I thought you had that intentionally. Had it in our
I thought you were
ears.
trying to make us cool.
B Mocho PXD said, can't forget the Super Show, but sadly, no Super Duper Show yet. What's the Super Duper Show? Am I missing something here?
Somebody online needs to tell us what that is.
Because
Super duper show.
people on Twitch are saying it and people on YouTube are saying it. So I don't know what the Super Duper Show is. What's the Super
you
Duper
know,
Show?
Jeff?
Yeah, it's when you get Mel Gibson to come and say,
Hi, Cy. That's.
I got it.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
One more time for the YouTube people because they didn't hear it.
Hi, Cy.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you.
With
for
the jazz music in the background?
The jazz music, while to the dulcet sounds of the voice of Mel Gibson. You know something you'll often notice about Hollywood actors, and nobody ever comments on it? A really top-level Hollywood actor almost always has a fantastic voice. We talk about like how they look, but you can't be a really top-level Hollywood star. Like Mel Gibson has a magnificent voice. And like if you listen to George Clooney, for example, his voice is not like other people's voice. There's a kind of crispness in it. And it's really rare that you see a really top-notch movie star who doesn't have a little bit of a grizzled voice.
The distinct voice.
Speaking of top-notch superstars.
He's still setting up.
He can't hear us yet.
Not yet. Oh, wait. There he is.
There's the smile on his face. Does he? Oh, we need a little Carlo.
We need
Can-
Carlo
Can you
audio.
put Carlo in the mix?
Let's
Or
see.
no?
Go, give
Check,
it, give it a
check,
shot.
1, 2.
Yeah, we
There
got
we
him.
go.
We got Carlo.
From the doctor's office, Dr. Carlo Broussard. What is up?
Doctor's office. Hi, Carlo.
What's
Are
up,
you,
guys?
are you going to chat with Edgar for a while, or you got preparations to do for the show?
I'm good. I'm actually good to chat.
All right, I'm gonna. Bye, Edgar.
Bye. Carlo. Now let's
Yes.
now that Cy is out of the room, can you share a little bit about your new studio?
Well, it's the same studio, but just a new look. The Chancery here at the Diocese of Tulsa in Eastern Oklahoma remodeled the studio in the back there to change it into a living room setting. And so that's what's back there. Bishop Conderla and our Vice General, Vicar General, Father Gary Castle used that for Tulsa Time. And for my forthcoming new YouTube channel, Dr. Carlo, which will probably go live after the turn of the year, produced by Catholic Answers. I'll be in the studio setup, in the living room setup, doing my videos for my new YouTube channel. But for our Catholic Answers live stream, this will be the setup here.
All right, cool. Any way to you know what I do miss is your office setup, what you've been using for the
Yeah.
last month?
You like that?
I love the saints and of course future saint Mother
Yeah.
Angelica. There's something
Yeah.
beautiful about having all those images there. Can you talk me through some of those? Who are the images that you had behind you?
Well, I used to have in my office Mother Angelica. I had, of course, Christ the Teacher at the center. I had Ignatius of Antioch, Saint Irenaeus. I had G.K. Chesterton, Frank Sheed, St. John Chrysostom, I think I had as well. And I think I'm missing one more. St. Augustine, I think, was in there. So, yeah, so I do miss having my wall of saints, but I don't think I'll be able to put it up in here in the studio. It might be a little bit too busy.
There's no way of putting one image directly behind you and that what's like that.
Maybe we might have to check on that.
Yeah.
We tested an image back there earlier. I have an awesome picture of the crucifixion of our Lord, but it might have been it was a little bit too busy, even just with that one picture. But we'll think about it.
All right, cool. So can you share a little more about what's coming in the future with Dr. Carlo Broussard or Dr.
Yeah,
Carlo?
Dr. Carlo YouTube channel will just simply be my Catholic Answers, my new podcast, video podcast that Catholic Answers will produce because my Sunday Catholic Word has now come to an end, or will be coming to an end at the end of this liturgical year. So my new YouTube channel will be an opportunity for me to share some apologetical material dealing with a variety of different issues, from philosophical apologetics to Christian apologetics to moral apologetics. And even every once in a while, we'll dive deep into some speculative theological issues and even spiritual theology. I'd like to start taking an opportunity to start sharing some pastoral insights that we can garner from theology. And so it's just going to be an open-ended podcast, no particular niche or niche, however you wish to pronounce that, but it'll just be hanging out with Dr. K, Dr. Carlo.
Beautiful. Love it. I'm excited to see what your community looks like as it continues to grow. So, Dr.
Yeah,
Carlo.
we'll see.
Cool. I was talking to Donna today, telling me about a little about what you guys are doing. So it's going to be the word spelled out, Dr. Carlo, right?
Well, that's going to be the Patreon URL.
Oh, okay, cool,
so
cool.
for folks to go to Patreon and subscribe to the levels, that'll be drcarlo.com, doctor spelled out. But the YouTube channel itself will be Dr. Carlo, Dr.
Cool.
Carlo.
Good stuff. Cool, Carlo.
Yeah.
And today we're going to be doing a Why We're Catholic. Oh, no, not Why We're Catholic. It's the Whys of Catholic Belief today for the show.
That is correct. Yeah. That's what we're going to be doing.
Cool. Well, shout out to all the people in the chat here on YouTube. Somebody said something here. Ford said Padre Pio did not like TV at all. Ford, I gotta say, you're right. Padre Pio probably didn't like TV, but you know who did? Fulton Sheen. So I like Fulton
Like
Sheen.
what?
TV.
He didn't like what?
Oh,
TV.
TV. Padre Pio didn't like TV, but you know who did? Fulton Sheen. He had a TV show. I think he won is it an Emmy or I don't know which what the television awards are.
Yeah.
But yeah. Michael Morgan.
Diversity in unity.
There you go.
It's like some saints wanting to go to martyrdom and other saints not wanting to go to their martyrdom and doing what they could to try and avoid martyrdom without compromising the faith.
I think I heard one story of St. Catherine of Siena that she craved martyrdom so much and she just was always left with a desire to. She never actually didn't die a martyr. So I don't understand it, but hey.
I don't either, brother. It's not me, man.
Yeah, I've been reading a little bit about all the persecutions in Nigeria. I don't know if you've heard what's going on. So I think it's the Muslim group Boko Haram is going after a lot of Christians in Nigeria right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's easy to talk about martyrdom when you're not in danger, and then you have our fellow brothers and sisters who are out there suffering martyrdom in a very real way. It's yeah. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, we only got about 2 minutes till the show, so let's go. I guess we can take a couple of minutes break, and when we come back, it'll be the Whys of the Whys of Catholic Belief with Dr. Carlo. Johnny, hit the pre-show clip.